Kirana project is an outreach community project which has been designed to connect children from the community with professional artists. So the challenge is to come to a new city, work with the children for 4 days and build the content which will inform and shape the multimedia performance at the end of the week.
And how is to work with different children in different, how do you communicate with them?
I think the special thing about the project is that every time we do the performance in a different city, it's a different version. Children are different in different cities. They have different rhythms, different language, and it's very special to create a new piece with new children. And we also adopt the language of the territory. So basically the performance has a storyteller, an actress, which would narrate the story in the language, in the native language of that territory.
Kirana, skabelsens glødende lys, smeltede mørket væk. Skinnende på tværs af universets skygger. Kirana strøg funklende gnister af sine flammende fingre. Og de første stjerner var født. Stjernerne begyndte at danse rundt i en hvirvelstrøm. De dannede klynger, figurer og stjernebilleder.
How has been to organize that show, that Kirana?
We were working together with Den Jyske Opera, and it's been really great as they are very much having the focus on production and making a beautiful product. And we have had some collaboration before, and it has always worked out really well. So I was very happy to go together with them and invite Ruben from Malta. And his concept is very well worked through. He has done it a lot of different places. So it was very easy to take over, as he has movies that you can watch and see different productions he has done some other places. So I think it was very inspiring, and for us, working with the same things as we want the children to collaborate about creating something together, I think it has been very interesting to watch his framing. His framing is a little bit more strict than the way we have done it in the other experiments that we have done, but it also gives some rest or some easiness in the project that it has so precise defined what he wants us to do. I think maybe the space for the children's creativity is a little bit too small in my point of view. I think there could be a little bit more space, but maybe it's also about the time. We only started this Monday morning and we are now performing on Friday, and we were only there from 8 till 12 the first days, so it's very, very short time to be with the children. And then of course you have to be a little bit more strict with what they're going to do. There has been space for them coming up with ideas, for example, for the stars dance. They were watching themselves dancing and they said, oh, but this is really beautiful. Maybe we can do this formation or do like this or that. And I think that's very nice. That's what I think is really interesting. That's when the children also have a saying in the performance, because it gives this ownership. And I think that you can see that. And especially the star dance and the star dancers were very much making their own dance, and they were also the ones that are always practicing. It's a small break, they're on the stage practicing because it's their dance and they just want it to be perfect.
So can you explain us how has been to organize an event like Kirana?
This has been very inspiring because it's lovely to work with children, and it's also very great to work with international partners. And we have the partners from Malta, Ruben Zara from Soundspace, and we have a relation through some years, and now we wanted to do something together. So this was very nice to be able to be part of that.
Ud af disse stjernebilleder dukker der en kentaur frem med lys glitrende over hele sin krop. En skorpion med knister lynende fra sin rød. En vild hund med tænder, der dryppede med stråler af lys. Og en slange med en sølvskinnet hud. Kiranas lys og sænkede sit hoved. Skorpionen skjulte sin rød og dækkede sine øjne. Den vilde hund vred sin ryg, og slangen brød sig sammen. Kiranas blændende lys så ned på de 4 skabninger og smilte. Kentauren, skorpionen, den vilde hund og slangen forstod, at de var i Kiranas nærvær. Lyset, der opløste mørket. Lyden, der brød stilheden. De følte sig sikre i varmen fra dets lys og sødmen i dets stemme. Og der var fred i universet. Kiranas lys var klart. Kentauren, skorpionen, den vilde hund og slangen spandt og snurrede omkring Kirana. Og Kirana så, at det var godt.
Has been here in Aarhus working with a specific project?
Well, working in Aarhus has been wonderful actually. We had a lot of support from the school that we worked with. Also, we're working with 100 children. We've never worked with such a big group, which was very challenging, but also very special because a lot of children benefit from this experience. I think that Kirana is also a project that leaves a strong legacy. It's not just a project where you come to a city, you perform and you leave, but working with the children, working with the artists, with the community. The techniques are shared, and the children or the school, the music institutions can use that baggage to do other things. In fact, in Aarhus, some strands, some techniques of Kirana will be used for the opening ceremony of Aarhus 2017. And that's very nice, you know, because there again, it's a project which leaves a ripple behind it, you know, when we leave.
I have read that you have said that this performance will be like an inspiration for the opening in 2017.
Yes.
What can you say about it?
Well, there is some of the themes that are actually the same as we are working with. For example, the theme Dream is also part of this performance. The theme Fire is very much the same feeling that we have in our theme Riot. So we will take some of the elements and put it into the performance in January. But especially we will also take some of the elements and kind of take them as a part of the whole concept. Because we're doing the opening in January, but we are also making a concept that will continue with different workshops with all kind of children and also with World Music Center. So it's like integrating the best ideas that are here, and I think there's many great ideas. Some of them are, I guess I would put other places. For example, he has a rhythm in Dream where they're working with boom whackers and these clocks, and there's a very beautiful piano, and they are singing, and it is dreamy, but it's also a little bit nightmare-like. So it's not just the calm and beautiful and innocent dream. Is a little bit, the scary dreams. I think I would move some of these elements to our theme Anxiety, actually, because I feel that the feeling of that music has more that thing in it. So it's not that we will take it over, just take it and do the same, but we will kind of integrate elements that are the best, and also get inspired by the way they have made the costumes, the way that they have made everything clear with the technique. It's very well made in the sense that they just open up a package here and all the technique is there, and the beautiful balloon there with the animations on, and the whole process about the children doing the drawings and sending them to Malta, and they made an animation there, and it just comes in here and just pops up, and then it's just perfect. So I think that's very inspiring, and I think Ruben as a person is very inspiring because he just wants things to be perfect, not only the performance but also the process. He's there with all the children, and he's there taking care of the water in the glasses, that it has the right amount of water. he's very much a man that is there with all the details to make the children have a perfect feeling of making a performance. So they really feel that they're artists and that everything around it is taken care of. And I think that's very admirable. This to not compromise, but being very eager to make the best for the children.
Kirana slugte skabningerne og omdannede dem til lys. Ikke for at udrydde dem, men for at bringe dem ind i skabelsen. Af den vilde hunds tårer skabte Kirana dråber af vand.
Kirana is becoming very popular with European capitals of culture. It's part of Aarhus 2017 as well as Paphos 2017, as well as the, of course, Valletta 2018 program and Leeuwarden in the Netherlands. I think that because Kirana has an impact on the community, it creates a connection, a relationship between the artists and the children. It's, I think, an appropriate project and fits very nicely within the framework of community projects within European capitals of culture. So actually I'm very happy that we've been getting a lot of bookings from European capitals of culture. The project has a strong international network now. It's been performed in 5 countries, and we have 10 countries lined up between 2016 and 2018, which include not just Europe, as well as Sydney in Australia and a tour in Japan. So I think that the pretext, the quality that a lot of institutions like about the project is the connection with the community, leading to a performance which is on a very high benchmark, but with also a very strong contemporary vision. The music, the movement, the digital animation has been designed to portray a contemporary image and a contemporary vision. So the techniques that we do with the children are very innovative, I think, and that usually they don't do in a regular curriculum.
At skorpionens klæser skabte Kirana vindstød.
It's always a challenge when you do something with a lot of children, but it's also been wonderful to coordinate, to be part of the coordination of artists from abroad that we know from a long time, and the venue and the music school and the school. But there can be many cooks in the kitchen when you are so many people as part of the work. So just coordinating so that everybody feels at ease and feel that they are doing their best. That's a challenge, but it's also a very fulfilling thing to do when it works.
And how do you think that kind of performance help the children, will help them to the opening, or to develop themselves?
Well, these children, they will perform in the World Music Center performance in December, but not be directly involved in the performance of the opening. But I think in general, to be part of performance, develop them as human beings. And I just saw that during this performance, there was a boy, and it was very difficult for him to concentrate. And in the end, one of the teachers said, I think I have to call your parents and you have to go home. And it was like, at that moment, he just realized, I really want this. And you could see the tears in his eyes. And then he came over and he said, I really want that. And I don't think he really realized it, because she said many times, do you want this? Because if you want this, you need to concentrate. But he kind of, there was so much tension in his body and in his mind. And then you could just see that he realized, okay, I'm gonna go for this. And he came out here running out, and he was just so happy. And it was just so nice to see him that he succeeded. And also there was another child whose trousers got wet here for someone dropped over the water, and he didn't want to go on stage. And then in the last minute, he took on the trousers and he ran into the stage, and he just had to be part of the performance. And I just think that is so, that's really amazing. So, yeah, that's what I love about it, basically.
Og endelig, med kentaurens blod, skabte Kirana ilden.
So what can you say that is different in that kind of performance? Like you performance in a different way, like, you know, artists with children, or so how can you explain that? Like,
yeah, I think that what we try to do is, challenge the children to create their own material, or rather, we empower the children during the workshops to create their own material. So it's not about teaching them a routine, which they imitate, but it's about giving them the tools so that they can create the material, own it, create it, and then it is structured to fit within the performance. And the fact that the children actually do the routines and can experiment, then they become familiar with very contemporary techniques, like, for example, prepared piano or extended piano technique, which is a technique proposed in the 20th century by composers like John Cage. And they're actually, playing inside the piano. So the next time they would listen to a piece like that, hopefully it would make a connection. All the musical pieces are lifted, taken from, imported 20th century and contemporary works, like the water sequence, for example, which is inspired from Tan Dun, a Chinese composer who has actually a piece called Water Music, using water as percussion. So yes, thinking about music in a different way, and sharing that technique with the children so that they absorb the genre and the music.
and what do you think is important for the children to like think in different way, like in a stage? Do you think that can help them in the daily life or things like that?
Well, yes, I think that it's always good to think in a different way. I think it's an important part of our development. And I think that in this project, they get the opportunity to do that, but they are also entertained. So it's very much a game for them, so they're doing prepared piano, they're doing water music techniques, they're playing with stones and rocks, they're doing tribal rhythm and dance. Because they're having fun, they absorb that reference, and that would help them think in a different way. Usually it's adults that have a problem to think in a different way, but children, if they're having fun, if they're entertained, they will absorb that baggage, and it will just be part of them.